Hey, it's your boy Bartender Den. Yes, Renee is here. She's right there. See her hand and everything? Yes.
My hands are really not that big. I know I posted a picture, and one of my friends was like, "You have big ass hands for a short person. They're not that big." So, yes.
It's that, what is it, aspect ratio?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not that big. Yeah. Yay! Our guest is here.
Hello. Hello.
Woo woo! So we're gonna go to our guest right now. And Zeus is out here acting.
You gotta hold on, man. After the show, we can go out and hit yourself and all of that.
The joys of a dog.
Yes. Yeah, bring it a little closer. Bring it a little closer. Yeah. A little closer first. Oh, there it is. Hey. There you
Yo,
go.
yo. What up, what up?
Hey.
My man, 100 grand with the pan. How you feeling?
I mean, I'm fantastic, man. Life is grand, you know what
Outstanding.
What up? What up?
I'm saying? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Great. How are you?
Hey,
Thank you for making time for us because you got off work early. So thank you.
They ain't want to let me go today either. I was
Listen,
like, "Man."
them, they, those, them.
Yeah, all those pronouns. I mean,
Well, thank
we
you
here
for
though.
joining us. We're so excited to have you today.
Indeed, I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate both of y'all, for sure.
Yay!
Definitely.
Well, are we gonna do it? We gonna do the announcement? Like, we're so excited to have the Whiskey and Kick Show, Brocky!
Yeah,
Yay!
nice, very nice, dope. Appreciate y'all.
What is this hat you have on today?
Oh, this is my cousin's brand. My cousin he has a brand, Fly High Club. So yeah, I'm repping my family right here. You know what I'm saying? It's one of my favorite hats.
Yes. Okay. So what are you drinking tonight? Because we need to
So-
know what's going on with you and the whiskey connoisseur.
Exactly. So yeah, I know I'm a whiskey person, right? So, but for the show, I figure I'll do this. It's a whiskey, but it's a whiskey in rosé casks.
That's the homie.
Yes, Michael and them. Yes.
Rosé cask finished Penelope whiskey. It is delicious, yo. So good. So I got my glass here. I got a little stone in there. I usually drink neat, but I'm gonna go with a little stone. I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Yeah.
Something.
Easy to these.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah, cheers,
to
y'all.
Brocky, it is Penelope Rosé.
Yes.
Cheers.
To you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. So, shout out to you and all you do. We are so excited to have this conversation tonight. You are doing amazing things. You created an amazing brand. You got a beautiful, delicious lady, and she's doing great things in the industry too. So
I try to tell people.
look at the hearts going up. She's like, yes. So we just want to know more about you, what you do, how you got started in the industry. And you know what? Because you're here, I feel like we need to take a shot of whiskey. Because we normally don't drink like spirits on the show. But because you're here.
It's only right, y'all. It's only right.
It's only fitting that we have some whiskey. So love to know more about you. So Brocky, tell the people who you be, where you from.
So I'm Brocky, from Rochester, New York, but I've been in the DMV since 1994. So, I've been here longer than I was in Rochester, right? So, and I'm a whiskey enthusiast, and I have I don't know, you just tell me where you want me to go, but I have this show called Whiskey and Kicks, a brand called Whiskey and Kicks, multiple segments, and when basically I get out and I interview and speak with people in the booze industry and in the sneaker industry, and we talk about booze and shoes, right? So all your favorite distilleries, your favorite bartenders in the DMV so far, hopefully I'll branch out eventually. I get in there and I talk to them about them, get the stories behind the people, get the story behind the spirits, get the stories and find out how many pairs of shoes they got, how many pairs of sneakers, why they like to wear them, all those different types of things. So that's Whiskey and Kicks in a nutshell, but I'll break it down as much as you want me to.
No, bring it all the way way down. Break it down.
And we got a lot
Elementary
to
style.
talk about. So over here pouring up a shot.
Yes, because we pouring up a shot.
Yeah, so.
And these are one of your people because
Yes.
we saw them come to your show as well.
Yeah, 1-8. Those my folks.
Yes. Oh,
My folks.
Yeah.
Ben, you looking kind of happy right now, yo.
Yes.
So cheers to you.
Cheers, cheers. Those are fancy glasses too. I'm gonna just sip mine.
Yes.
Oh, y'all not playing
We got
around.
curry shooters over here. Swish.
I see.
Play around.
Kobe from the corner.
You know what I'm saying?
You gonna be all right over there?
Tighten up.
Right.
That whiskey hit a little different than that rosé does.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, military burn.
Break it down.
Yeah. Johnson.
So like that SpongeBob meme.
Yeah.
Hey, chase it with some rosé.
Yeah, okay. And we'll have the same Penelope Rosé that you are.
Not mad at that. Yeah, you have a bottle of this too?
Rosé cast. That's a really good whiskey.
Okay.
It's a beautiful whiskey.
All over the place.
But we want to get back to you. Okay. So you talk to people, whiskey, kicks, talk to them about how they got into the industry, storytelling, all that. How did you find that whiskey was like your slow jam?
So I was a rum person. I mean, I still am. I'm a rum lover, right? I'm a big rum lover. Yeah. And I'll just tell a little story, right, of how I started on with whiskey. So I was going to, have you guys been to Jack Rose before?
Yes.
Okay, so
Jack Rose,
I was going to
Adam Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to Jack Rose with some friends, and I'm like, well, let me see what they got. Let me give me a rum cocktail or something. So I got some kind of rum cocktail. So a friend of mine, he orders whiskeys, some kind of whiskey, right? At the time, I didn't know what it was. And it always slips my mind, but hopefully it'll come back to me. So the whiskey comes out, it's like a silver tray, right? So on this tray, you got a glass, you got a rock in another glass, like a ice in another glass. You have a water dropper, and they set it down, they brought the bottle, they poured it, they measured it, they poured it from this thing into another thing, then they poured that to the glass. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? Right? What is all this? So he told me, he said, hey, man, just take the glass. He said, taste it. He said, don't drink it. Just tilt the glass up, let it touch your lips, right? I had never had whiskey before, right? I did that, and every pore in my body opened up. So I was like, yo, like what? And that started my whole journey right there. That moment, I was curious about that. And then I just started purchasing bottles and tasting different things, trying different whiskeys. And I just kept going from there. So that's how I started drinking whiskey. You know what I mean? And that whiskey was George T. Stagg, which is like one of the big boys in whiskey. And it was just crazy that that's my first whiskey experience. But, that's how I started off.
I feel like it was like Nino Brown and like, don't touch the supply. You touch the supply. And then it was like, now you're an addict.
Then you get hooked in, right?
Now you can't touch your supply.
I got hooked in.
Yeah, they got you.
Yeah. So that's how it started, and and it's not like a glass of whiskey with some friends. Saying some good conversation, and whether it's spring, summers, fall, winter, it don't make a difference. It's always a good idea.
It is, right? So, like, you're a whiskey drinker too, right?
Yes.
So, I am a drinker. I'll put it that way. There's not been a drink where I've been like, oh, phooey. So I've just been more like, put a little more ice in it, or put some Sprite in it.
Right.
I'll put some Sprite in it. But whiskey, I feel like y'all are a whole different breed. Like, you have cigars, you have sneakers. Like, whiskey goes with something. So, like, when you were like, whiskey and sneakers, right? How did you come up with that pairing?
Well, those are two passions of mine, first of all, right? So I'm a sneaker person, and of course I was sipping a whiskey and other spirits too. So I was kind of about that. So, I started a couple businesses in the past, right? So, businesses, the nature of business, you build it up, you want to build it up or sell it or something like that. Or sometimes you start a business and it just don't work out. And I had a couple of businesses that they ended up not being what I wanted to do. So one day I'm just chilling with a friend of mine, and he's like, I'm giving away a lot. I'm giving away a lot of jewels right there. This is supposed to be for my exclusive interview, but it's all good. I'm getting interviewed on my own show. Nah, it's all good.
Yet,
it's all good. So,
story, so don't worry.
all right. So we sitting around one day at a bar, and I'm like, man, at that time I had a business throwing parties, right? So I threw a party, and I'm like, well, the nature of DC right now, you don't have to pay at the door to get anywhere. You just go in and they count on you drinking at the bar. So I'm like, I need to figure something else out. He was like, yo, why don't you do something with whiskey? And I was like, yeah, I could do something with whiskey, like some whiskey themed parties or something. And I was like, well, I didn't want to throw parties. So one night, I'm laying around my house and I'm watching TV. So I'm like, let me get ready to go to bed. So I closed my laptop and get ready to go to bed. And then in my mind, at that point, it said Whiskey and Kicks. Like, that is literally how that happened. That's how that name came up, Whiskey and Kicks. So I opened my laptop up. I took some notes. I went to bed. And then I just started kind of, the wheels started turning, and it turned into me hosting a show. I had a friend in doing podcast stuff. I reached out to him, and we just got to move it, man. We got to pop it.
Wow. Okay.
That's it.
Now, I know this is his segue because he loves talking about business and all that stuff. Because, I know you saw the studio. You came by the other day. Just drop off a bit because we're going to talk about that as well, the shoe drive. But the business aspect, a lot of people are not like looking at like these podcasts and what we're doing as businesses. They're thinking like this is just like hobbies, but like how lucrative and how like if you really put the effort into all these things that we're doing, like these lives, these connecting and networking and content building, this is like a business, and you should get an LLC, an S Corp, C Corp, whatever you need to be doing. Trademarking your name, all of these things, because they can become businesses. So this is his wheelhouse.
Yes.
Because 9 to 5 is my wheelhouse. After 5, it becomes.
No time.
About lying and getting drunk after 5. So.
Right.
Phone calls and solving problems. I understand what it's like as an entrepreneur. So when you first got this idea, right? Because I remember having that Eureka idea, right? You sit in the basement, you chilling, you have your libations and things, you sipping or whatever.
Yep.
You sipping or tip or whatever. And you have this, euphoric idea, this, wow.
Yep.
Light bulb pop, right? What was the next step? Like, you had a name, like what?
Like, what were you typing?
Like, what was the next step? Like,
So, I think I might have had the idea of doing a show before that, but I just don't remember. But I know once I came up with Whiskey and Kicks, I was like, it was an immediate thing to reach out to somebody that I knew that did podcasting, right? And then this is 2017, so podcasting was still relatively like new and kind of unknown. Like, what I was doing really wasn't a podcast. What I do is not really podcasting. It's really a show. But I reached out to my buddy and I said, yo, man, I got this idea. I want to do this podcast thing. I know you do podcasting. And he was like, yeah, come by, man. Come by. Let's talk about it. Right. So I went over his house and we're talking about this idea, right, that I have, Whiskey and Kicks. He's like, oh, man, that's catchy as hell. I love that. Love it. And I was like, yeah. He was like, let's go upstairs and shoot one right now. Let's shoot a podcast. Not Whiskey and Kicks, but his podcast. First time ever doing anything. So we went upstairs, got on the microphone, put the headphones on, and knocked it out. So that was my first step, reaching out to a person that knew something about the industry that I wanted to get into. And secretly, I wanted him to be my producer, right? Because
I love how we use secretly, but it ain't nobody's secret, because he knew that's what you wanted.
I knew that's what I wanted. He didn't know that's what I wanted. So after we did the podcast, I was like, yo, I wanted him to be my videographer, my producer and stuff. And he was like, cool, because he was in a position where he was trying to learn in his field, which is producing. He wanted to learn something, so we went on that journey together. You know what I mean? And we started doing it, and that was it. Took off from there.
Definitely. Well, I want to say one, salute to you and all that you do, especially with the sneaker drive. I know at the studio we got about maybe 20-something pairs of sneakers now. You know, the bin is overflowing. I don't know if you need another one or maybe we got.
I'm gonna come. I'll stop by.
Yeah,
I'll stop by.
But like, let's actually like dive into that. Like, what is the sneaker drive?
Exactly,
and like, how did you come up with this idea? Because like, I know like back home, okay, everybody know I'm Chicago all day, every day. Right. Don't call it Chirac. We got a problem. I will fight. I am Chicago. But like, how did you come up with this idea? Like, how did you bring it to fruition? And like, you from New York, but you give it back to I'm about to say Chicago. You give it back to DC. Like, how like, why here? Like, all these things. Because this is so important to know, like, the why.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, this is my home. So this is where I live. This is where I've been for a long time. You know, Rochester is my home as well. You know what I'm saying? This is where they raised me and whatnot, and they birthed me, and I guess DC raised me. You know what I'm saying? I got here when I was around 19 or so, something like that, and I've been here ever since. Right. And
I mean, we all had that moment, like, damn.
Yeah, and then so. I have a thing, like I had to give back, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in a blessed position in life. Even like, you know, life is like up and down, right? Even when I'm down, at times when I've been down, it's still a bless. It could be way worse, right? So I always want to try to give back somehow. And I have a track record of throwing parties and raising money. Parties for charity. So you party for charity, right? So I've been doing that for years, and I don't do that anymore. But I look at Souls for the District as just a way to give back, and it fits my brand on top of that. You know what I mean? It's a shoe drive. So my graphic designer at the time, we were kind of like brainstorming on a name because I knew I wanted to do a shoe drive, and just brainstorming together, we came up with Souls for the District. You know what I'm saying? Like, so and it just kind of clicked and worked, and we did a graphic, and then I just started reaching out to people, you know what I'm saying? Seeing my boy Joe, who's one of my closest friends, my brother at the end of the day, he's my partner in it. And we just started collecting shoes. And I reached out to Major. You guys ever been to Major? You know about Major at all? Sneaker boutique, the first sneaker boutique in Washington, D.C.
I feel like I got some shoes from there when I first got here. But yeah. I can't confirm or deny.
It's all good. Over in Georgetown.
Is that on 8th Street?
No, it's in Georgetown, Wisconsin.
Okay, so I have a fear of Georgetown, but that's a whole nother story. Parking.
Some people do fear Georgetown,
yeah,
but
I'm like, I don't want no tickets or towed.
Up there or taking a bus or something.
I don't want to get tickets or towed. I have a problem. I've been ticketed and towed.
Y'all funny, man. Y'all funny.
You're not from DC. We have people, like I see people who are from like Miami in here. We have people from Chicago. I see people. Okay, Georgetown is a very secluded, rich neighborhood in DC. Georgetown University, which has produced many great championships for the, college, what is it, Final Four, all that. However, parking is a beast. And I do not.
How did I know this whole thing was going to parking? How did I know this whole thing was going to parking?
I don't want to come out. I'm like, what do I park?
No, you got to look. DC is the only city in the whole entire world where in a calendar year you'll get about $1,500 in tickets.
You have to budget for tickets.
You have to, because it's like they're going to give them to you.
That is only if you don't pay for your parking.
What do you mean?
I can't read the sign.
If you don't pay.
30 signs on one pole. Okay, we're listening to the story. But it's like 30 signs. I'm like, you can park here between 2 and 3 on Tuesdays. But the next sign is like, but on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock, you can do this.
The
but
damn
you can't
signs
do that.
be
Then
wrong.
there's an arrow.
The signs be wrong, yo. Y'all, wow.
Like,
y'all hilarious. I love DC. I've never, since 1994, no matter where I've lived. I've never driven to DC for a reason and turned back around and went home because I couldn't find parking. Ever.
I've gone home.
Annoying.
I have gone home.
He's annoying. He's like Jesus' kid, son.
Oh,
Like,
wait.
What is
Shit
that?
on the scene said I have not had a parking ticket.
Y'all lying. Y'all
Jesus
live
is
here.
blessing y'all.
You say y'all lie? No, I got the what the camera.
Huh?
I got the camera, the cameras, the speed camera tickets.
You can get
But
all of them, brother. You can get the whole gauntlet here.
I got one
You
because
get a speed ticket. Look, time out. I was coming over here for the show, right? I got a ticket over here, $150 ticket because my tire was on the bike line lane. I didn't get a ticket.
are you serious?
I got a ticket from DC Parks and Wellness.
Y'all traumatized.
You ain't know you get a ticket from them people.
Y'all got trauma.
Yeah, you got trauma. Tickets ain't money. You got a budget.
I definitely
You have to
trauma.
budget for tickets. It ain't
Y'all got trauma,
So
y'all.
my car is parked underground, and
When it come up, you can get a ticket.
and I leave it underground.
Because you can get a ticket.
I can dig it.
It hit the
But
road.
we
more than 8 hours,
we
you get a
digress. We
Yeah,
digress.
please,
But you hear the trauma.
Yeah, they ain't right.
So
It's a lot of trauma. It's a lot of trauma, y'all.
DC cops are lazy, so they make their money
Hey,
on tickets.
okay,
do I need to
So
do I need to light some sage for y'all real quick? Cause this get
we
crazy.
got some black on.
Yeah, I got
We're
to
the
fill my
sticks
glass
at.
up. Damn
We
that.
got some sticks over here. We got
Yeah, sage this shit, everything.
No. But the store in Georgetown, I feel like we've been there before.
Yeah, I haven't been there with you. Hell no, Georgetown no. Uber or bus. Damn that shit.
I think we probably,
Alright,
if
my
we've
bad,
been there,
I'm
it
sorry,
has been in an Uber.
These tickets driving Ben to drink.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Major because I have a relationship with them already, and and they're on board, so they partnered up. So Major has been a huge part of Souls for the District. They usually donate about 100+ pairs of shoes, so that makes up a big percentage. So the first 2 years, 2018 and 2019, we collected over 700 pairs of sneakers and donated those. And hopefully this year we can do just as good, if not better. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, I know I'm partying away with a pair of $800 shoes that I've never worn, and I mean it's just time. I feel weird partying with this.
You gotta say something or something like
But like
it's
I never.
so hard.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Say
But like it's time to take it.
Hey, throw them in the bin, girl. Give them to me. Say, take them, throw them in the bin.
We're gonna throw them in the bin.
Hey,
So,
I got a pair of don'ts. I'm gonna throw them in the bin.
Yo, throw them in there,
Throw
man.
Throw them in the bin.
Yeah.
Hey, it's some of these shoes, bro. You gotta get a truck or something.
I know. Well, actually, 1-8 Distilling is serving as my storage. So they're storing all the shoes. So I'll come pick the shoes up from you guys, and then I'll take them up to 1-8. Hopefully on Saturday, if you guys the studio is open.
Hell yeah,
So,
we'll be open and available. Yes.
all right,
Well,
cool.
that's
So
great.
I'll come by and grab those shoes and take them up to 1-8 on Saturday.
Thank you. And like to anybody out there, if you watching, shameless plug. But it's not shameless because it's for a good cause. This shoe drive is amazing, and we're so excited to be a part of this because it's for a great, great cause. And we
I
all have
appreciate that.
shoes in our closet from whether you bought it, you're like, ooh, girl, I was gonna go somewhere, or ooh, guy, I was gonna go to that white party with this girl, but then me and her broke up, or or I was gonna go to this taco party, but I didn't get no tacos, so
Right.
kind of just sat there. Whatever your case may be, we all got some shoes sitting somewhere. Let's donate. Let's give back to our community. Let's make sure people are being able to reuse some things. And if you never wore them, like you ain't going nowhere. The pandemic, you knew you bought some shoes before the pandemic. You thought you were going to go outside. You ain't go outside.
Right. Yeah, and that's my whole thing. Like, I hate to use the term sneakerhead, but it is what it is. But I'm a sneakerhead, and but I don't like to just collect just for the sake of collecting. I get my sneakers and I wear them, and when I don't wear them, I donate them.
Yeah.
Because somebody could use them, you know what I mean? So why just sit in my closet? Like, get rid of them, you know what I'm saying? So I got
We
about
need to hit up
17.
DJ Khaled and be like, you the best, but you would be better if you donated some shoes.
Right. He might give some money. You never know. I should reach out to him.
We should do both.
Right?
I'm
Because
just saying.
he's a collector. Like,
We do both. I'm saying a shot is only missed if it's never tried.
Right.
and you got that right. Every shot not taken is a missed shot. But yo, let me say that I appreciate you guys stepping up and being a sponsor for the shoe drive. So I needed as many people as possible, and I appreciate you guys doing that. So it helps. You know what I'm saying? So people want convenience, and it's good that they can just stop by the studio and donate shoes. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna go out and help somebody. So I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all for that. Sure.
No, thank you, and thank you for stepping up for the community and being and making this happen. So, who are some other partners who have done this? And let's cheers to you and all you do at making this happen.
Yes.
Hey.
Just a note real quick. I'm sorry. Just to say real quick. All the shoes are being donated to the National Center for Children and Families. So we've donated to them the first 2 times, and we're doing the same thing this time.
Yeah.
So
Good.
they help out a lot of people.
And who are some of the other partners, and where are some of the other drop-off places?
So 1-8 Distilling, of course. You can always go to 1-8 and drop off and have a drink if you want to. They have really good cocktails there and great whiskey and gin. And then what is it? Deshaun. It's a Deshaun. What's Deshaun? Ricardo Deshaun. It's a clothing boutique.
I love the off to the side was like, hold the side up.
It's real. It's real, man. You know what I'm saying? We live a real life out here. I don't have a screen in front of me with cue cards and all that kind of shit.
I love it.
And I've been drinking whiskey.
But that's what that
You know what I'm saying?
I'm loving that. Yes.
So, yeah, so Ricardo Deshaun, I'm going to drop a bin off with them on Saturday, and there'll be a collection spot as well. And then the Foundry, which is my apartment building here in Alexandria, Virginia, I got them on board. So this is going to be also a drop-off spot.
You know what? Let me go talk to the people downstairs. You know what? Because you know these people over here. Navy Yard may be another drop-off spot. Because I think
let me know. Let me know. I'll bring a bin by. Let me know.
All right.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you and your boo know the location, so we may be able to announce that tomorrow. So let me check in with them.
That's her job, remembering all the locations and how to get places. She's better with directions than I am.
She's a navigator. We gonna call her navigator.
Right. You might want to check the door soon too.
I love it. Okay, so with the Whiskey and Kicks show, where do you see yourself going in 2022? You know, like you're doing amazing things. I see your growth. I see all of this amazing things. You're bringing back the shoe drive. You got a new logo. You got new branding. Like, where are you going for the future to infinity and beyond, if you will?
Right. There's some stuff I can't talk about.
That's okay.
I love that type shit. Yeah.
There's some stuff I can't talk about yet, but I just want to. I'm a creator. I like to be creative. I have to have an outlet. So Whiskey and Kicks is my outlet. I do want to get better on the business side of things, just to be transparent. You know what I'm saying? Because us creative minds, it doesn't always mesh well with the business part.
Correlated with that right brain. I know.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So I want to tighten that up, and then of course I want to talk to more interesting people and get more stories out there. I want to explore and then and get sponsorship and shoot more shows and just continue being creative. That's the thing with Whiskey and Kicks. It's just like I want to talk to people and get people's stories out there. It's about the booze, yes, but it's really about the people. Right? It's
always about the people.
It's about the people. It's about talking to people and getting stories out there that other people can relate to. And maybe that can help somebody. You know what I mean? So you never know what somebody's going through, or you never know what somebody might need to hear at any moment that can get them over a hump. So that's really like, kind of what I shoot for with Whiskey and Kicks.
It's amazing. Like,
and tasting amazing whiskey.
I mean, you can never get tired of that. How many whiskeys must I try? All of them. Like,
All of them.
Come on. That's
All
a
of
great tagline right there.
Don't try to come sue me if I use that.
Right. Pokemon. You gotta catch them all. Gotta taste them all. Okay, and speaking of that, you know how we were trying to count how many rosés we tasted. So our first year of the podcast, we tasted maybe over 150.
Wow.
You counted that shit?
Wow.
Remember at the end of the year. So we had in
Counted that
the
shit.
basement. Yeah, it was in the basement. There was we were stacking bottles, and we didn't do this like on purpose. It was just like one day we just were like, how many bottles are there? And we were throwing them out at the end of the year. It was over, and they were not the same bottles.
Wow.
A rosé. And like,
Wow.
It took me 3 weeks to dispose of all the bottles. Those are now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me feel away, but I felt kind of like good. But
You like to collect those bottles?
yeah, so we were not trying to.
But we started to, and then it got too much.
Yeah, and it
I
was
understand. I understand.
The whole purging process took about 3 weeks to get rid of all that stuff. So we had more recycling bin. We don't feel right about throwing the glass into the trash.
In the neighbor,
Yeah.
So, you know.
It was
That's
like,
dope. I mean, and when y'all say rosé, you know, I'm a whiskey person. So when y'all say rosé, you talking about bubbly specifically, or
No.
just any kind of rosé?
Hell no.
any kind of rosé.
Got you.
Specifically, I only like flat rosé.
Really?
What? The bubbly makes me burp, bro.
Well, you know, ain't nothing wrong with
You know
natural
what I'm saying?
human function.
Even now, you try to keep it cute. You don't be burping. Don't order the bottle of bubbly. That's something you do at home, Netflix and chill. You go out, get you a flat rosé. You appreciate the grapes, the you know what I'm saying, the profile of the wine. It's a whole different experience.
I'm the exact opposite of you. I don't care for the flat. I'll call it a flat rosé. I love that term. Flat. I'm gonna refer to it from now on. Flat rosé.
Oh no,
Well,
it's funny because when we say it when we go out, people are like, "We got you."
you did. That makes sense. That makes so much sense. But I like the bubbly. I only like the bubbly one. I don't like the flats. The flat.
Really? Why?
Distilled rosé. I don't. It's just not my. It's just not my bag. I don't know. I like the bubbly stuff better.
I dig. Hey, to each his own.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
We all grown.
At the end of the day.
okay, so for you and the whiskey, in a year, how many have you tried? Like at your max?
That is impossible. It is impossible to measure how many whiskeys I've tried, yo.
Okay, so this is what I feel like. Starting April 1.
You actually meant to measure stuff like this?
Listen, you get your
You
little.
just get overwhelmed. Look at his face. He got overwhelmed. He's like, bro. He got like that DMX song, like, what do you know?
What they want from me?
Yeah,
it was Brenda.
Right. You know what I mean? Like,
Why?
You did on the first 5. You like, nah, bro. I read too many.
Yeah, so many.
Okay, this is what I think you do, right? And I'm going to take you back old school. And you know my dad does this. You take out your little memo pad out your little back
Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing
like
that.
88 years old.
Ain't nobody doing that.
And you just, it flips.
It's 2022. Ain't nobody doing that.
Just like a little tick. That's what you do when he spins.
Check it out. Just check it off real quick. Keep track. See, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with you have to be conscious and do that before you start drinking whiskey, because if you wait till after you drink the whiskey, you'll definitely forget. There's no way I'm going to remember.
When you make the order, you like it. My dad, 88 years old.
So you got a tiny box and you have a notepad in your back pocket with the bar, bro?
I ain't have no notepad in my back pocket. I ain't gonna have it, but
like, man, I just had a lot of them.
I have a cell phone. You never know. You never know.
Hey, you know what? I don't know. I know I'm going to the bar like, you know what?
Check.
Check.
I wish I would have took more pictures in my life though.
Well, okay, maybe that's it,
You
right?
know what I'm
so
saying?
let's
Maybe take pictures with the
whiskey.
Yeah.
If I started back to my pictures, I would be able to count, because you know, with the business that we're in, social media and everything, we take pictures every time we go out and drink something. You know what I mean? So I would be able to count then, but that's a lot of counting, yo.
Okay,
that's a lot of whiskey.
Yeah, Yeah, but you need that because you know why? Because there's going to be somewhere, someday, where you're going to be like trying to do your infographic, right? Sorry, this is me at work. Where it's going to be like the infographic and it's going to be like your stats and you're going to be like, in 1 year, I've tried over 248 whiskeys and they range from 23 countries. So like, it's,
like damn, you would drink.
But that data is good because it's also like for you to know where you've been and where you're going.
Yes.
And you can't quantify that data. So I could just tell somebody, I did 540 whiskeys the last 2 years, and who's gonna prove it wrong?
That's not what it's about.
But it's not about that because you know people love numbers, and when you go into sponsors and all of that, they love a number because people, when you're talking about sponsorship data, people love a good old number. They're like, oh,
I agree. I agree. But if I just came up with a number and told them,
oh no, they gonna be like,
bro, trust us when we telling you.
You can't. You can't go back and tell me how many whiskeys I've tasted. You can't prove it.
You true, however, comma. So what I would tell you though is I'm excited to hear how many you think you have and what is the most amazing whiskey you have.
You said how many? I'm sorry. How many what?
Think you've tasted?
Oh shit! This like ever?
Yeah. Your total number.
I mean, it's in the
thousands.
No, it's in the hundreds. It's in the hundreds. Because I've been to so many whiskey tastings, whiskey events, so many nights out working for whiskey and kicks, and every time I go out to work, I'm sipping something. I mean, it's in the hundreds, man. But it could be higher. But I'm not a person that likes to be out in bars a whole lot. Like I do this, but I don't. I'd rather be home, warm. And, you know what I'm saying? Next to my lady. I ain't trying to be out in the streets, man. I spend enough time out in the streets. I'm good.
You're like, hey, we can make a whiskey, sour at home.
I get busy. So yeah, for sure. I'll make a whiskey sour right here at home. I don't need to go nowhere for that. All these bartenders I talk to, I learn a lot. But yeah, so definitely in the hundreds though. I've tasted a lot of whiskeys, man. Like a whole.
So do you have a general? Because like you said, you like distilled, flat. You like a sparkling.
Yeah.
I like a particular color, rosé.
Yeah.
What's your favorite type of whiskey? Is it like from a particular country, particular type of way it's made, or it's fermented? Like what is your slow jam of whiskey? Bourbon.
Bourbon is my jam. It's American made. Bourbon is distilled high corn, so I like the sweetness of it. And then then we talking about rye. Of course, I love rye. So American whiskey in general, but I would say bourbon's my favorite, then rye, and then Tennessee whiskey after that. I love Tennessee. Tennessee has amazing whiskey. Uncle Nearest, all those guys down there. George Dickel, some great whiskey out of Tennessee. So for sure, but bourbon is my number one.
I don't think I've ever heard of George. George
Dickel. George Dickel, great whiskey. But listen, that's gonna.
It's not gonna knock you back a little bit.
Yeah.
I know. I need me some moonshine.
They're like, Uncle George got that Dickel. You're not going down the street to get that.
Yeah. You might have to go down the street to get that. I'm sorry. Bourbon for sure, though. Bourbon is it for me.
Okay. Now, if you had to go anywhere, I know this is welcome to the random section of the call.
Let's do it.
If you could go anywhere and have a bourbon, where would it be?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Go anywhere to have a bourbon? If I had to pick a place, like you mean anywhere in the world or anywhere like where
in the world? You could go to Dubai and be like, I want a bourbon because they make it great at this establishment. and it's this particular drink that they make the bourbon, blah 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 with?
Well, I mean, of course, Kentucky is the mecca of bourbon whiskey. So I would have to go to Kentucky, and have some whiskey there. And probably, if I had to do it, like if I had to choose, I probably would just go to Buffalo Trace Distillery and have bourbon at Buffalo Trace Distillery. It's historical. It's legendary in the game. So I would say I would just go there and have bourbon there. If I had to pick a place though, like in the world to have bourbon, it would be somewhere cold. I was, to be honest, it wouldn't be bourbon. I would go to Scotland to have some scotch over there.
Well, happy St. Patrick's Day to you too.
Well,
They celebrated there too in Scotland. Just so you know, people did not know that.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Oh, I thought only the
I love
above
it.
did
Love it.
It's less frequent with opportunity. You dig what I'm saying? So, what's in between bourbon and whiskey? Are they the same thing? Like,
Bourbon is whiskey. All bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon, right? So bourbon is a type of whiskey, just like rye, Irish whiskey, Scotch, Japanese whiskey, you know what I'm saying? Tennessee whiskey. They're all whiskeys, just different processes on how they're made. Okay. And then different places. Like bourbon can only be made in the United States. You can only call a whiskey bourbon if you follow specific rules. Do not ask me to name the rules. And is made in the United States. That's a bourbon, right? So Scotch has to be made in Scotland. You know what I'm saying? Irish whiskey, so on and so forth, right?
That makes sense.
But they're all whiskeys, though. At the end of the day, they're all whiskeys.
So bourbon whiskey is American whiskey.
Yes.
Okay, man.
Yep.
There you go. Hey, and now we know. And knowing this
Butterfly in the sky.
There you go.
I'm just
yep.
saying. Now we know. The more you know.
That's right. Right. Bourbon whiskey. So you'll get whiskeys made in other places that might have a taste profile like bourbon whiskey, but they can't call it bourbon whiskey. Just like you can't call champagne.
Champagne. It's not.
That's not made for champagne region of France.
Or
right?
cognac if it's not from cognac France.
And cognac. You know what I'm saying? You can't call that.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, brother.
He's
there you go.
He's about to.
I love that. I love the dribbling part.
Yeah, you gotta come through the legs. And then you gotta.
Indeed.
Let it go. All right.
Indeed. Yeah.
I'm here for this. Okay.
That's how it goes.
Okay, so you also have like sommelier education too, is what I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your? I hate to be like, what's your certification? But what's your?
Oh no. No, I don't. No, I don't. I am sommelier adjacent. My girlfriend, she's a somm, not me.
I got you on these flashcards.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm along for the journey. She's the one doing the WSET stuff and all that stuff. I'm just here to support, drink the wines, the champagnes, and all that good stuff, and learn. So I've learned a lot.
Osmosis. Oh.
There you go. Okay. This is like secondhand. Like what's the champagne wine equivalent of secondhand smoke? That's what this is. This is secondhand wine. She get the bottles, she pour it, I drink it.
You're not a secondhand smoker, you're a secondhand osmosis of the drinking. I get it.
There you go.
Wow.
I'm not in the I'm in the media business. I'm not in the whiskey business. So there's a you know what I'm saying? I just want to distinguish that. So I'm not looking to be the super duper expert in all things whiskey. I want to talk to the experts. So that's my thing.
And that's sort of like where we are, right?
Yes, it's very much where we are.
Like, I got a law degree, you got a PhD, I ain't trying to get no more degrees.
Right.
There you go.
We're going to go brain them with this. We're going to pick brains of subject matter experts, SMEs. Hey, when you put this wine together, what were you thinking, bro?
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
How did you get this aroma?
Right.
Right.
The grape array.
I smell berries.
I taste a
Right.
lot of stuff.
I don't taste nothing.
Oh man.
You know, we ask a lot of questions like that, you know.
So that's
I
what
dig
we're
it.
here for. But
I
also
dig
like because like when we went to college and like how like we learned about wine, like my parents didn't drink. So like I don't know nothing about liquor. So when I went to college, I went to a vineyard and I was like, this is amazing. And then I went home and my parents were like, girl, go get some holy
Absolutely.
water, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, to teach other people like how to be like, you know, wine etiquette and does it taste good? Let's like break
There
it
you
down.
go.
I don't need to say aromas of flowers and all this. Break it down, sister girl, to me. Am I gonna like this when I eat a taco? Like, tell me that.
Right.
Is the taco gonna go well with this? Because I want to bite the taco and then this tastes bad.
And that's the beauty of it, is that nobody's wrong.
Exactly.
So whatever works for you, works for you. Whatever works for me, works for me. Some people like to, I'm getting, and some people just like, look, can I drink it now or what?
And I'm not ever. And
I'm in a place in the middle.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
You know, I smell it and be like, this is, no, you know, and I put my pinky up and all that. Sometimes, you know what, I'm trying to get toasted real quick.
Yeah.
You know how I go.
Yep.
so okay, so for you, like I'm just like all the lies. I'm like Katie Bird right now.
Hey, no, none was untrue about what I just said.
Okay, trying to figure out the floral scents. He's like, this is delicious.
Right. knock it back.
So what I want to know more is how can people connect with you?
Mm-hmm.
How can they follow you? What do you have coming up in the next couple months and all of these things to stay in tune with you?
Yeah, so you can follow me at The Whiskey and Kicks Show on Instagram, The Whiskey and Kicks Show on Instagram, and Whiskey and Kicks on YouTube. Those are the two main platforms for me. All my episodes are all out there. You can check the link in my bio to get you right there. And also check the link in my bio to find out more about Souls for the District. So Souls for the District is coming up. It's happening right now. We'll be having an event that I'll announce soon, which will be the culmination of this entire shoe drive, and it'll give people the opportunity to donate shoes at the last minute and have a good time. So there'll be music, there'll be booze, and you know what I'm saying? Good social atmosphere. And then next week, I got my birthday party. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Aries Revenge next Wednesday at Chicken and Whiskey on 14th Street in Washington, D.C.
So time out. Hold on. I need to make sure I get the invite, so I'll make sure I'm there. Can you say it one more time real clear?
So this is
birthday party?
The birthday party is next Wednesday, March 23rd at Chicken and Whiskey, which is on 14th Street in Washington, D.C. It's going to be from 7.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm very close to that location. I need both of those things, chicken and whiskey.
Yeah.
And I would love to pour it with you on your birthday. So
please do.
How many shoes you collected for people who need them. You know
there you go.
And I would love to say, hey, bro, happy birthday in person. So I want to make sure I get the information for the party. So
I'll send you the flyer.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I'll send you all. I love that. I'll send you all the information, yo. It's gonna be dope. We got a dope DJ, Miss Her. She's a super dope DJ, and it's from 7 to 11. 7 to 11. So come on out, man. Come on out to Chicken and Whiskey next week. If y'all never been there, it's pretty dope. In the front, it's like a Peruvian chicken restaurant. And then there's a speakeasy in the back. And that's where we'll be partying.
Man.
I'm with everything you just said, bro. I'm going to be there.
I love
Yo,
it.
07
I love
present.
it. I love it. Come on out, yo. Come on out. It's going to be dope.
All right. And I know we're wrapping up. We're coming up upon that hour. We thank you. We know it's been a hard work day. And I know they were trying to keep you, them.
They tried, yo.
And you was like, yeah.
We're trying to keep us, they don't want us. They don't really care about us,
Right.
all that. But if there's a message you wanted to leave people with for the week, whatever, anything you want to say, big people will do anything you want to say.
Well, I'll leave it right here, right? So I got these little coasters made, right?
That is hard.
What it says is the value isn't in the booze. The value is in the moments. So there you go. I came up with that. That's me.
I wish you just had a mic you just drop right now and just like cut us off your live right now. Like, hey, fuck y'all.
That's it.
Throw the mic down, just cut us off.
That's it, man.
That was a very like monumental. What's the word I'm looking for?
Mic drop.
Yeah, like that was that moment.
I paid too much for my microphone to drop it, but I dig it. I appreciate it.
I don't know, just throw the camera down.
No, don't do that.
You gotta do something like.
Don't break your phone.
Yeah, like damn this, like.
But no, thank you.
Indeed.
You obviously see that Josh Sellers is working on biz.
It is.
Oh.
Hey, shout out to Josh. I love my man. I'm hollering.
There we go.
We appreciate you so much for joining us.
I appreciate y'all.
And we want to reiterate that the shoe drive is going on, the Whiskey and Kick show, Souls in the District. I always say it wrong.
Souls for the District. She said different every time.
Everything wrong like that.
That's all good.
I'll tell you, I change adjectives all the time because I want to just like make things like a different action. I don't know why. But Souls of the District.
Right.
Four.
I did it again. Souls for the District.
There you go. Boom.
Hey, what is the name of this shit?
Souls for the District.
All right, bro, can you say it?
Souls for the District.
Hey.
I just said it 3 times. Souls for the District. They're having their shoe drive.
Right.
Please, 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 please donate shoes. Go to the Whiskey and Kick show. Instagram page to learn more. You can go to the Rosé Hour podcast page to learn more, or Fair Hill Studios page to learn more as well. We appreciate you all. Thank you, Brocky, so much for joining us
Thank you.
tonight.
Thanks for having me. I have fun. It was a good time.
Wait. One last thing. What are you drinking tonight so that people know what you had to drink?
Oh, I had Penelope, which is this is a rosé cask finished bourbon whiskey, straight bourbon whiskey.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Is it sold in the DMV?
I haven't seen it. I bought mine up in New York, so it's probably around. I'm sure it's around somewhere.
Yeah.
We got to plug them in. Like that whiskey is like that.
It's good. It's really good.
Stuff. So appreciate you.
Thank you.
Your boo. Hey, boo. We don't have her on the show in a couple weeks. But thank you. And to all the Aries out there, shout out to you. I don't know why Sammy Sosa right there, but that's a Chicago thing.
It was dope.
Thank you for joining the show tonight. We will see you next week at your birthday party.
Happy birthday,
Indeed. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Specifically.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yes.
Later, y'all.
Bye. Oh my gosh, such a great show. Oh, I adored them. Okay, so the Whiskey and Kick. Oh my hair just started standing up right there. Oh, actually, that's the picture. But the Whiskey and Kick show. Love their shoe drive. It's amazing. Fair Hill Studios is collecting shoes. So go on down to 2541 Fair Hill Drive, Suitland, Maryland. If you're in the DMV, to drop off your shoes that you want to donate. If you want to make a cash donation, go to the Whiskey and Shoes, the Whiskey and Shoes show. So that you can go ahead and make that donation. They have a link in their bio on how you can make that cash donation.
Yes.
It is so amazing. We want to give back to our communities. It is so important that we continue to do so. So, any last words from you for today? And we're drinking some Josh Sellers.
man, just please support the shoe drive. It's a great thing. It's a good movement. We have a lot of shoes we collected. You know, hit one of the 3 amazing collection spots. Drop off some shoes. Help somebody out.
Yes.
I got about 5 pairs I'm gonna drop off today. So as soon as we wrap up with this, I'm dropping some shoes.
And I'm gonna drop off some shoes too.
Yeah.
I'm sad to part with these shoes, but I never
They
wore
gotta
them.
go.
I never wore them.
They gotta
so
go.
no point.
Hey, throw them in the bin.
Yes, and you do that too because COVID has taught us anything is that it's okay to part with things that we don't need to help other people because there's a lot of people going through a lot of things. And there are a lot of people who are needing right now. A lot of people have lost. A lot of people have lost their loved ones. And this is a time for us to help each other, right? We need to do more to help each other and support each other during this time. So if you have, please share because there's someone who is doing a lot less worse than you and you're able to provide, do that due diligence and be a servitude of others because God has been able to be good to you, so you should be able to be good to someone else because that's why God has been good to you, so you can be good to somebody else.
Pay it forward.
Yes, because God has blessed you, honey, so continue to bless others.
Yes.
Yay!
Put your shoes in the bin. Help somebody out, man.
Oh, yay. So we are excited as well because the next couple of weeks we have some great guests. We have a great guest coming on March 31st, Chef Casey. So she will be doing a live cooking experience here and pairing with some rosé. So stay tuned to that. We're excited as well because we have some amazing winemakers coming in April that are going to be doing some tastings with us live. So lots of great things, amazing things in store. And, you know, again, stay tuned for the podcast episodes that are going to go live on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, because we have some great guests that have been on there too. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube because why? YouTube is where you need to be as well because we have great content there.
Yes.
We have live shows there. And because it matters on YouTube too. It matters on YouTube. So go to YouTube. Follow us on YouTube at the Rosé Hour Podcast. And don't forget, we have merchandise. Go to our podcast website, theroséhourpodcast.com. So with that, Ben, anything you want to talk about?
Hey, keep thriving and surviving, man. Hey, I guess we're coming out of the pandemic. Everybody keep your mask on. You know,
stay vaccinated, keep
keep doing all that, you know. We have other trials and tribulations in the world we got to deal with. You know, hey, but just keep it up. Keep up, man.
This too shall pass.
It will.
All right, friends.
Hey, peace.
And this is me, Millie Whopping, until the camera goes off.
I know.